What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? It is time for We Ain't Goes. We thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we are just ready to get this thing started, y'all. First of all, babe, how you feeling? You feeling okay?
I am feeling good. It has been a while.
Yeah,
Uh
it's been a little bit of time,
yeah.
been a little bit of time and everything, but it's good to get back in. It's good to start talking and seeing how everybody's feeling. So yeah, man, it's all good. It's all gravy, man. Y'all doing okay out there? If once y'all start tuning in, I know y'all gonna tell us how y'all feel. So once we start seeing y'all, we will respond. But I think the first thing we want to talk about is where we been at, hype wife.
Uh Stuck in the house and we in the house bored. No. Um yeah, we just really been trying to get content and trying to come to y'all with some more topics. Just trying to plan for this here podcast and come correct. That's all.
Understood.
What else we been doing?
I mean, we've been chilling. I mean, we've been potting and planning, like you said, and raising kids, like we always do.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's been a very interesting few months. Of course, we are in a pandemic, or did I say it right?
Yes, pandemic. That is correct.
Okay, you want to make sure I don't be saying stuff right
You
sometimes.
all right?
Yeah, so of course we in that. So it's a lot of things that we got to do to kind of stay together, and that's just what we was doing. I mean, we was out. And I don't want to get into the episode yet. I'll let Hype Wife discuss the episode and what we're gonna get into. But yeah, we
Mhm.
just we just been living life, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This is episode number 2, and Hype Wife is going to tell you what this episode is about.
All right. Well, first off, I want to just shout out little shameless plug. No sponsored or anything, but we want to give a shout out to Serene Nights Candle Company because this here banana bread
Smells good.
smells great.
Really good.
Y'all know I love it. I love her. Shout out to Nyasha Franklin. Thank you so much. Um, Also, the tonight's episode is called Partnerships, Protests, and the Pandemic.
Mm.
So, um, y'all know we this is a lot to go through all at once, especially for couples. I mean, like he said, we're in the house, and then when you do go out to the protest, you want to be mindful of that there is still a pandemic going on. So uh, we have to be safe in all of those endeavors as well, but still want to support the cause. So that's our topic tonight.
Yeah, so if you are tuned in right now and you actually want to talk with us, what you do is you go to the comment section of you get your little, as they say, your Twitter fingers. You get your Twitter fingers going, and you get your Facebook fingers going, and you start telling us, just hollering at us and letting us know what's going on. So, babe, what's the first question you got for us?
I don't necessarily have a question. It's just us talking about our emotions during this time. So,
What time are we talking about? So we talking about the
us being a married couple during the protests and the pandemic. So, I wanted to start with the protests initially. When all of this very first happened with George Floyd, firstly, which triggered our city to say what's going on with Breonna Taylor. Those very first nights when you went out as a wife, I was afraid, honestly, for you to be out there as a black man. Um, so I got pretty scared for how radical, because I know you could be radical sometimes. So
what you mean I could be radical?
because you could, and that's fine, and you're passionate, and that's really fine. But I wasn't able to leave home with being here to take care of the kids while you were out. But I
Mm.
wanted you to, voice your opinion and make your presence known. But I also wanted you to be safe in doing so. And you know what? Honestly, like the pandemic was way in the back of my mind, not necessarily you being safe and having your mask on at that time. I was just afraid for you as a black man.
So you was afraid I was gonna do the whole nuck if you buck thing?
Crime mob.
Yeah, crime
Yeah,
mob, going ham.
pretty
Well,
much.
I mean, I think with my perspective, just as a husband going out there, I knew that I have a family to come back home to,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell people all the time when you do go out, and especially like on the first nights, like when you go out and protest, it's just very unexpected. The first nights, you do not know what's going on, but it's all about maturity and knowing what you're out there for. Some people don't understand, like, there's a beauty in protesting. Like there is a great um there's a great feeling to be out there knowing that you're out there for the right cause, or you're out there for the right reason. So it's just very interesting to be a part of something. But you do know that I have a family, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that I got a wife to come back home to, I got kids to come back home to. So you just got to be very, very, very smart with how you react to things. I expect a lot of times people don't expect the police to show up, especially on the first nights. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I expect the police to be there. I expect them to be in riot gear because they're afraid of us and they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I expect those things. And with me expecting those things, then I kind of know how to move through those things as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I was grateful also to be able to participate in some things with you,
Hmm.
um, even during the day, because I was more afraid of the nighttime activity like that first week,
Hmm.
because it did get a little wild, but I mean, that's to be expected. Like, hurt people are going to protest the way that they want. So, but I just wanted you to be mindful, like you said, because I mean, you just sometimes you just don't know when you're out there how you'll react to certain things to protect yourself. Not thinking necessarily I got a family to get home to, but I need to protect myself in this space. But so I was grateful, like when you did the Kentucky Entertainment and Entertainers Walk for Justice, and that was a very peaceful protest. We did the walk. Um, we came back to Jefferson Square, to Breonna Square, and shoot, even the mayor came, and that's when it got wow. That's when it got crazy, and I mean, we were taking a knee, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I just saw him walk past me and I said, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea."
And you know what's crazy about that, babe? Like we invited him. Like so, I'm gonna clear up the air. So we did invite him over there. My thing was like, if you're man enough to come in the square right now, while all of these people was here, so we invited him over there just to have conversation with him. The only problem was I don't think he really was ready for the conversation that was trying to be had, if that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good. I mean, it was weird. It turned into something awkward, but I mean, it was a good space. What I loved about it is that women had the opportunity to speak. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So,
And
how did you feel about that?
yeah, I was, let me tell you, I'm pretty much a cool cucumber when it comes to stuff like that, but I got really passionate and I got pretty loud and vocal in that moment. And I didn't expect to be so loud and vocal in that moment either. But, yeah, I did appreciate you being up there and moderating and being able to hold the mic and say, no, we're going to listen to this black woman out here in the crowd because she had valid points,
Hmm.
absolutely intelligent. And the mayor had no response to really what she was saying.
and
He,
and even Miss G Pretty,
yes,
when she had her
she got
opportunity to
super
speak,
passionate. Mm-hmm.
and was very passionate about what she was talking about. I mean, it was another just cool feeling to watch black women do their thing, especially because and I think some guys, like, I had to not necessarily check some of the men that were there, but there were some guys that just didn't get it. They were up there and they was like, let me get the microphone, and I had to tell them, like, yo, you can't have the microphone right now,
Right.
because I didn't give the microphone to the young lady because she was in the crowd. So I didn't want it to be like, okay, a man's voice is more powerful than a woman's
See,
voice,
and
just
for
for the
you to even be
microphone.
mindful of that in that moment was just so appreciated to me, because the perception could have looked really bad out
Thank you,
there.
boo.
Yeah. No, I really appreciated it.
Oh,
So,
thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, on that note as well, we tag team that event. That event was great. And we, it's another thing that you can do. Protesting together is absolutely fine. You all, like, if you want to go out there, and you have the opportunity with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, partner. Just make sure, you guys talk about what you all gonna do, and be honest with each other and say, hey, babe, I know you get a little rowdy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, just make sure you know where I'm at and make sure I can see you, when that's going on, and that's just regular conversation. That's not trying to control anybody's behavior. That's just, regular conversation. So just please make sure that you're, paying attention to those things and just talk to each other. I think that is absolutely a good idea.
Yeah, I think like you said, just have a plan
Yes.
because
If you ain't got no plan, it's gonna get ugly.
yeah,
Cause if you messing with a cat like me, I'm gonna tell you now, I gets busy sometimes. So like if I gets busy, during a protest, I know my wife is literally behind me, and she might be shaking her head mentally, but she knows she's watching. She's like, all right, babe, all right now. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So she has the power to pull me to the side and say, okay, babe, all right,
Yeah,
I
but
got
we
you.
we had a good plan too when we went down to 28th and Broadway that first time too, like the very first week of that. Um, when we went
That was
with
for David McAtee.
yes, when we went with our cousins Demetrius and Chelsea, the Caldwells, and we had a good plan then too, because I know that D is the same way
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
as you.
yeah.
Like y'all are moving through crowds swift, but I had Chelsea, like we were back behind the crowd.
Hmm.
But I could see D and you like the top of y'all's heads, and I was just trying to make sure that I could see y'all the whole time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it was cool. It was interesting, and it was great. So just I think our big point is to make sure you communicate what you're going through when you're about to go to a
mm-hmm.
protest.
Yeah.
That's very important because you don't want anything happen. You guys see what happened. The media, they jerk sometimes, so they'll try to show you, people getting beat up by cops or people getting tear gassed and all of that other stuff. And so, as a a husband or a wife, you don't want that to be your husband or wife,
At all. Yeah.
out there getting beat up or tear gassed or anything like that. But then if you got somebody like I said, me, who's rowdy, it's like, okay, I got my goggles though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you got to be like, okay, now enough is enough. When are you going to come back home? You just got to have open communication with each other about that.
Yes. So our next thing was, so we've talked about partnership, we talked
Partnership.
about the protests, so now the pandemic. Um us, I guess we could talk about our partnership in the pandemic.
Okay, so that's okay. Now, y'all know for a fact. Okay, so everybody's paying attention right now. If I got your attention, make sure you say yeah in the comments. Okay, so all right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me. I don't know. I'm acting like a host, but no,
Right.
seriously. S- the pandemic is going on, right? And that's a whole nother situation because you talk about masks, you talk about wipes, you talk about. I remember when it first happened, babe literally, I mean, she put in my backpack. She was like, what she put in my backpack? Some wipes,
Ziploc
some
of wipe,
gloves,
hand sanitizer,
made sure I had
gloves.
mask, all of that, like all of that, what I mean, to go out in the world. And I was very interested in, making sure myself was, I was good and everything. But how do you get that? You know what I mean? How do you feel about me still going out? Because I think I was at work a little bit because you started working from home
I
a
started
little bit
working from
earlier.
home
Yeah.
like March 15th
So
or
two like
so.
a week
So, and then
before me.
you were
Yeah.
like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, as soon as he hit the door coming in,
Wash your
wash your hands,
hands.
go take a shower.
Go take.
Like, yeah, no, just leave all those clothes right there. I'll take them
I was
downstairs.
like, I was like, babe. I mean, I just came. No, go wash
Mm-mm.
your hands and
Yeah,
blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, all right, I got you.
yeah.
It's
So
no problem
uh
because we got kids, man.
that's really what it was, because soon as the kids hear you at the door, they're just gonna run and jump on you.
Yeah,
It's just how they are. So I'm just like,
yeah,
no, y'all, like we have to think about everything. Like that was a huge stress for me to go to the stores And if he was at work and I have to take my kids, I'm just
Especially when
not
it first started.
I'm
Oh,
just not gonna
geez.
go. Like I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna go to the store because
We didn't take the children.
I
We
I did not
always
take
we
them to the
switched
store.
up. We
Yeah,
like if she went by herself and
yeah,
then I would go by myself or whatever. Especially when it first like March and
yeah,
the end of March, April, and a little bit of May. I think May we started getting a little.
yeah.
My
Cause
birthday's in May, so May we started loosening up just a tad bit
and
or
CJ's
whatever.
birthday, so
Yeah,
we
CJ's
even had
birthday.
a drive-through birthday for him,
Yeah.
so that went well. But as far as the stores and the pandemic, like I was paranoid, like for CJ to touch stuff or Harmony or even put them in the baskets. Like you just don't even think about the stuff like that. Like I know they were cleaning them. I watched them clean them, but I'm just still paranoid. Let me tell you, one time we went to Walmart and this
Mhm.
was way later. So we went for Father's Day because
Mhm.
CJ was adamant. He was like, I have to pick out Daddy's Father's Day gift. No, actually, it was your birthday.
Okay.
Actually, so it
Okay.
was earlier. So he said, I have to pick out Daddy's birthday gift.
Okay.
And I was like, can I just do it and you stay home? And he was like, no. So we went and Harmony stayed here with you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I didn't
I
know y'all
said,
was shopping
absolutely
for
not.
you, so
I can't keep eyes on both of them touching things.
yeah.
So I had my arms interlocked with CJ's and just to make sure he didn't go away from me to touch something. Oh my God. Yeah, I was so paranoid in that store
Yeah.
because at that point nobody was wearing masks for real. Like it wasn't a requirement.
Mm,
Um, but we were like I had two masks on at that point, and CJ, you know, he would try to breathe out of it and pull it down, and I'm going nuts, going, no, put it back
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
And then I had to think about me parenting. That's another P for this episode.
Mm,
Me parenting and how I'm having to communicate with my kid about trying to keep him safe without screaming at him. So
facts. Well, I know. I mean, I think my thing is like I'm a big guy on trust, right? And I don't trust nobody at all. So when it comes to trust, like it ain't about the person I'm in a relationship with, the kids that I have, or the relationships I have with my friends. It's all about the other people. And when it comes to this pandemic, it's all about the other people.
yeah.
They are so disgusted. I mean, like the fact that you'll be in a grocery store, and this is at the beginning. So the fact that you'll be at a grocery store and then they like everybody was well, we didn't have the mandatory mask thing at first. And then next thing you know, I mean, they wasn't wearing masks. They was just it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I was like, no, I'm not taking my kids in here because people
Mm-mm.
trifling. I ain't about to bring my kids in here and then I've been done smack somebody upside their head because they
Man.
done sneezed and my
Yeah,
kid
and
was
I'm
over
getting
there.
beside myself. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was so bad. Like my mom works at Thornton's,
Mm,
and she wanted us to come see her, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we can come, and we're gonna park right outside the car, like.
yeah.
And I would go in and say, hey, we're outside, and
Yeah.
then she would come outside. But she asked me the very first time I got there, she was like, Jessica, can Harmony come in? I
Nope.
want to show. I said, absolutely not.
Nope.
You can come out here, your manager can come out here and look at her, like it, because they wanted to meet her or whatever and meet CJ. And I was just
They
like,
want to meet our kids, y'all. Ain't that crazy?
y'all, I know, but whatever.
Y'all think we popping. They popping. We ain't goes. They are.
Right. We ain't
They
nobody
are.
for real.
They goes.
But man, listen, it was nuts. I was so paranoid for real. But yeah.
Like I said, babe, though, my thing is like, I just don't understand people. And I don't understand, like, okay, so if this is truly a pandemic and people are not working, right? Like, people are not working and is unemployed. And I'm talking about during that time, like when it first hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't understand why people were on the other side of the argument. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to do this. This is my, because people forget, when we get back to the protest stuff, like, no, people forget that early May, they were protesting at the governor's
Because they wanted to get a haircut.
yeah, and they wanted the whole mask thing, and I think that's when they did that dumb stuff and hung
in effigy.
yeah,
Yeah.
just dumb
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But it was all over mask though, like
Yeah.
it was all over
This is over some masks
over mask, and I'm like, do y'all not
and
understand?
opening all the stores. Yeah.
I'm like, how you gonna say pandemic in one sentence and then say I don't want to wear a mask in the same sentence?
I will say the worst part for me at one point was Walmart closing at like 7:00. Y'all, Walmart does not close.
Like, who
So,
does
and I
that?
think about what I want at like 6:59.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, y'all know what? I could have got some paper plates, or I could have got some. Oh my gosh, y'all! I was so mad thinking about stuff that I needed at that point.
Yeah,
Uh
the fact that Walmart, like that was ugly. I don't care what nobody say, because we are Walmart trip takers at late,
late,
late
yeah.
night. You know
Shoot,
what I'm
even
saying?
Kroger though. I'm just like,
Yeah, man. It's like, hold on.
hold on.
I mean, literally pulling up to Walmart,
It's
like,
dinner time and
I'm like,
y'all closed.
right? That's sad,
I
baby.
need some garlic bread.
What time you talking about? You say it's dinner time, but don't be telling everybody our business.
No, we don't eat that late. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, because
Like,
we said
I was,
late, and
I
then
was
you was
being
like,
sarcastic.
okay,
Sorry.
cool. Okay, my bad. It's okay. But yeah, I just want people to understand that, like, in order for us to like trust the process, you know what I mean? Like, you all have to do your job and wear your mask, you filthy hags.
Y'all,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
that's
Like,
another thing. The mask mandate is happening right now here in Kentucky for those who are not, or who are watching elsewhere. It's, you have to have a mask to go inside a business. Let me tell y'all, they not keeping the mask on when you inside.
How you walking in?
They
and then
walk in the
taking
door
out?
and say, Psh,
That's just,
like,
I don't understand.
you got home from work and took your bra off. Like, that's how people are taking their mask off in these stores. I just cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
I can't believe people are just this like angry though. Like,
Yeah.
some people are really angry. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to say you're stupid to
Well,
your
you know
face.
something though? Andy Bashir said they didn't like the seatbelt law at
Nope.
first either.
They ain't like the seatbelts.
But look at us.
But look at us wearing seatbelts, and it's the law. You better have your seatbelt on, because it's gonna save your life.
And
that's the same thing with the mask, y'all. I think we need to get used to the mask. I think they are going to become a fashion trend. I think that, depending on how this COVID-19 things, and I think people forget, like, pandemics actually go on for almost 2 years. Like, we so privileged, and we're so used to how things are going. We're not even realizing that this thing could also last all the way to 2022.
Man, don't say that, because I'm supposed to graduate then.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, still, like, you just never know. Like, you never know. So that's why they keep saying, if you notice, like, marketing, they keep saying things like, get used to the new norm and the new norm.
Because it is.
And I was saying that at first, I was like, what you mean? This ain't the new norm. I hope this ain't the normal of what's going on.
Yep. And all of that. So even, okay, back to protests. So we're bouncing around pandemic and protests. We were supposed to go to the protests in DC end of August, and our hotel sent us an email saying, no, we're not even accepting anybody else. So we're going to cancel your reservation. And I'm just like, well, we definitely shouldn't go at this point. So we've canceled that trip. But I mean, of course, we have flights still, which we can move around. But I'm just like, they have it where it's extended. Well, Southwest does. It's extended till September of 2022. But I'm just like, who knows where we're going to be at that point? Like,
right. I mean, but I say this, and I've heard somebody say this. It was actually my cousin. She said, hallelujah. When you believe in Jesus, when you believe in Jesus Christ, hallelujah.
Who
that
said
sometimes,
this,
Wanda said this. Yes. And she said, when you're covered by the blood of Jesus, then you don't have to worry about things like this. You get what I'm saying? But I still say get tested.
But you also said God gave you some common sense.
Yeah, God gave you common sense too. Don't be stupid now. Yeah. Like, go on there, get tested. I think that's the thing, babe, that nobody is talking about. Nobody's talking about the simple fact that no one's getting tested.
Yeah.
So you could literally
just walk around with some allergy symptoms, like, and
then imagine you bringing it home to your family if you have one.
Yeah.
And imagine the guilt you feel once, maybe one person gets it, or, the whole, God forbid, the whole entire family gets it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Just like when it comes to this, partnership situation, is like, y'all got to communicate. Y'all got to talk to each other. Y'all cannot sit there and, be doing all of this random stuff, not wearing your mask in public.
What's Uncle Andy he say? He says you can't be doing that.
Yeah,
That's
you
what he
can't be
said.
doing that. I mean, he ain't my uncle, but I get what you're saying. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can't be doing stuff like that. You got to get yourself together, and you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're protecting everybody else that's around you. I get it. People are nasty, as I said before. People are disgusting. People don't want to wear their mask. People don't believe in 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? But at the
Yeah.
same time, you got to be the one, to back up, or you got to be the one to wear your mask, or just let them know
Mhm.
politely, look, yo, I understand. I feel you. If you don't want to do it, okay, that's
It's
on you.
hard though.
But
It
I
is
gotta, I
hard,
gotta
like,
back up though.
because the world is opening back up, but like you said, it's probably about to get shut back
We're gonna shut
down.
this down.
And
And if it don't
we
get shut
want to
down, I mean,
participate in things like, I mean, we just honestly just went to a birthday party, but I did have my mask on, like dancing and everything.
here's my thing. Y'all can go wherever y'all want to, but just remember, y'all can't be doing the same thing you would do
Yeah,
in a, like, if you're in a pandemic, you can't like do the same thing. So
yeah,
like if you go to a party, try to stay away from people. Do your thing. But I mean,
yeah.
but it's hard because you at a
It
party and you
is.
want to have a good time. But at the same time, think about everybody else. Don't be so selfish and think about yourself and have how much you want to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Think about everybody else and what may happen as well. We're gonna definitely, I think we should open up for some questions and some comments. So if you guys got comments right now, definitely go ahead and start putting them in there. Shout out to everybody that's on our actual live feed right now. We appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Andrew Connor. Shout out to Brittany Morgan. Shout out to Stan. Shout
Yeah.
out to Wendell. Everybody that's on here. Natalie. Hey,
Mhm.
Natalie, how you doing? Everybody that's on here. Janie, how you doing, Janie? Everybody that's on here, we appreciate you so much. Morgan as well. So if you got anything to say, make sure that you go ahead and comment right now, because we can have a conversation with you all about this too. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. We got wine, you know what I'm saying? We in our PJs and we chilling. Look, we'll
Yes.
show
Oh,
you.
we finna get some
Yeah.
we ain't goes
They tripping.
PJs.
They tripping. This is what we do. It's
For real.
Wednesday. Look, and this is gonna happen every single Wednesday now. So
Hopefully.
yeah, no, it's gonna babe, come on. It's gonna happen every single
I'm just gonna be
Wednesday.
honest.
I know, but no, it's gonna happen every single Wednesday. We're gonna get on it, and we're not gonna procrastinate.
All right.
On this. Sure.
All right.
I'm just telling you. Just talking about
Letitia,
partnership.
you know what?
What she said?
Tell
me what
she said, I'm still nervous about going out or group gatherings. I feel you. I feel you. Like, I was nervous at that party, but like I was asked to dance in the routine at the party. So I felt like, oh man, it was only 5 of us.
Y'all,
so in
listen.
practicing it was okay, but then when it got to the party, I was like, oh, there's people here.
Okay,
so
let me say this. She was not nervous about the party.
No, I was nervous
she
about
was nervous
the people.
about the people.
Yeah.
For
sure.
This is hype wife we talking about here.
I mean, yeah.
So she's not, she can do a thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bop, bop. That's what she do. But anyways, but what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? It's just the interactions with people. You know what I'm saying? So like people are, I'm telling you, I hate to keep saying it, but people are disgusting. Like, they're so nasty. Like, they don't wash their.
That's the part. You just don't know
people,
where all the people have been that you interact with.
Do you understand, babe? People don't even wash it before
on
this.
A normal.
They don't wash
your hands. Yeah, I just felt like, why is this news?
Like, that is
why do we have to tell grown people to wash their hands?
I don't understand it.
Like Harmony's 3 and sings tops and bottoms song.
Yeah,
to wash your hands.
Rub your hands together. Now they're clean.
Right.
Okay, it's really simple. It's preschool.
3.
So you can do that. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. You can do that as well to wash your hands, because washing your hands is very important. And we always say on the other podcast on Weekend with Tess, please make sure you wash your booty as well. Washing your booty and washing up, period. It's just something that you need to do.
God.
I think showers are important.
Oh my
especially
gosh. It's so sad when you have to tell people that showers are important.
No. Seriously. They are very important. People are disgusting. I didn't say that.
See, I don't want, that's the type of stuff, that comment right there.
Tell me what the comment is,
that
baby.
I don't want to deal with.
Yes.
She says, I work in a hospital, and you would be surprised how many don't clean their hands before or after patient contact.
Oh, girl, don't tell us that.
I ain't gonna say her name though, but she out here.
Don't be saying that.
Oh my gosh.
And shout out to Nisha as well. Nisha said, but people
Being
being nasty.
nasty. This
That-
this did
I'm
not
with
start.
you.
Right. This is
I'm
not new. People are gross.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. They've
Yeah.
been nasty.
I
They've been
feel that.
disgusting. That's what they've been doing. So we got to get everything together because you just got to get this
Okay.
right. You know
No.
what I mean?
Let me read this here comment. My little sister says, how do y'all feel about taking a small trip to the worst place where the cooties are, Gatlinburg?
Mm,
Just small gatherings, 3 to 5 people.
okay.
No outings other than the store and walks with mask on.
What?
Just a small road trip to get out of the everyday setting. Ask it from me, LOL. Okay, so I'm going to say, we really have just talked about this because we wanted to do a possible couples trip there, but so it would probably be 8 of us in a setting, but we all already live in different states. So I don't know what's going on in their state. They don't know what's going on in my state with the pandemic, vice versa. We all want to get out the house, but I'll tell you what, one of these weekends, I saw everybody in Louisville and Gatlinburg. It was like nobody.
But I know why though. It was cheap.
It was so cheap.
Super cheap. You know,
so cheap.
people gotta listen now. Now
It
here's
was
what
so
here's what
cheap.
I'm gonna say. You gotta live your life. Okay. You gotta live your life. I agree with living your life to the fullest. But it's just like anything else, you gotta be safe. Don't be scared. Now you can't,
Yeah.
this is the thing I always said about the pandemic. It's not that look, you can't live your life in fear. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and you got to do your thing. But if you're not being safe, then you're being reckless. Like, don't be reckless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can go and, like I said, pray to Jesus.
Yeah,
and
you
do
can be
whatever
cute
you do.
now with these
You know what I'm
masks,
saying?
though.
Right.
Get your
right.
couple mask and match like Nisha. She had a cute old mask on
Yes.
and a headpiece.
Yes.
Listen,
live
yeah,
your
go.
life, but be safe.
Yeah.
Live your life and be cautious. Don't be reckless, though. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? People going to be mad if you go.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm just keep it real.
Okay. That's
because
another
that goes
topic.
Yeah, but like people
list
gonna be mad
is guilt from
if
your
you
family
go.
and their perceptions because we young. Come on, all these people here. We want to go. We want to do stuff, but yeah, your family's gonna be like, y'all better stay where y'all at then for 14 days. And blah, blah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, well, and not even just family. I have friends too.
Yeah, fine.
I mean,
businesses are even asking you to do that. Like if you were to go get your hair done, like if you've been in these hot spot states, because the governor also asked if you've been to these, I don't know, 7 to 10 states that's on the list, just quarantine yourself for 14 days after you get back. So
let me tell you something. So here's what let me tell you something. So here's the thing. So the point is, for Morgan in particular, and to answer your question in particular,
look at Jane's
you can do what you want to do. Just be safe.
Yeah.
And be careful.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, I would not tell anybody to stop, living your life. But if this is the new normal, then it's normal for us to go on vacation. It's normal for us to take trips.
Also, I just want you to know,
just make sure that you are being safe.
Yeah, and the people you go with, you have the right to police them for sure.
Heck
like
yeah.
we all gonna be in the same house together. Come on now. No, you're not going out the house without your mask
but
on.
you don't have to be ratchet, but you can just be
like
cautious.
Yeah,
like, hey,
we're all living together for the next couple of days.
Absolutely.
So let's be.
So if y'all been sick and if y'all been sick and because the thing with COVID is usually when you come when you come near somebody that has it, you don't catch symptoms or anything until 3 days afterwards.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. So like if you were exposed to someone when they very first got their symptoms, you probably won't exude any symptoms until 3 days later or something like that.
Yeah. So just be aware of
be
those
mindful
things.
of where you been and track it and that kind
and
of stuff.
I think shout out to Nisha because I got to do this. So we're doing this episode on July 22nd.
Yeah.
And shout out to Nisha and JC. You know what I'm saying? It's the anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary. 9 years. We always celebrate. So, like I said, we ain't goals. We're a married couple. Okay. We have married friends and we have single friends. We have all types of friends. but we also want to celebrate black love. We think black love is important.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been married just as long as we've been married. They try to copy off us like 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? But
That's
it's
not
whatever.
it.
But it's cool though. I mean, I know JC, bro. He always trying to be like me. But I'm just saying,
Stop.
I'm just saying in general.
That's not it.
Congratulations to you all and anybody else that's got an anniversary coming up. Just let us know. We'll shout you out. We ain't got a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yes, hashtag Black Love.
yes, black love.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a song.
No, it's not. Okay, so I want to read some more of this. I'm gonna stop on a comment in a second here. So
one comment I thought was funny was my mom up there.
Okay. What mama said?
She said, "I'm with Jesse about the Walmart situation. You know, I may shop any time of the night." What do you mean they're closed?
Right.
I need some country ham skins.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You just never know what you need. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you need and you want to go get it.
Yeah.
And then also Nisha says, don't let COVID stop you from living.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Don't stop. Get it safely.
Yes. But she followed up with just be safe at all times.
Yeah.
So absolutely, please beware. Be what am I trying to say? Whatever.
Let's keep just be mindful.
All right, be mindful of that. All right. We just recently came back from Indiana. Okay, yeah, I remember that. And congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Your father.
So yeah, and I know you probably was, excited to meet, but at the same time, like, yo, y'all better get yourself together now because I ain't trying to get sick after all of this. So
yeah.
And I think he followed up with the comment. Everyone is fine. We took the proper precautions. Exactly. So it's basically we have the same thing. The same comments. It's just please make sure you're safe if you are traveling. Read this for me. What is it saying?
Well, Natalia, she said she's going horseback riding Saturday.
Horseback riding.
And her shirt and mask match. I'm gonna be cute. That's what she said.
All right.
Safe and have fun at the same time.
Riding?
Yes.
Black people do that for
Okay,
real?
So this is Ray probably. Ray Nim, Rashonda and LaShondra.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying we don't like.
No, they do that. I can't wait for these pictures.
I did that one time. I did that one time at Young Life Camp, and that was like the worst thing I've ever did in my life. I thought I was gonna die. I couldn't stop the horse.
Black people do that.
I just can't. I can't remember it. Like I couldn't. My mind wasn't right. I was so scared, and I just wanted to jump off
Ray's
the horse.
Birthday, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I wanted to jump off the horse because I didn't know what happened, but I knew if I jumped off the horse, it was going to be a problem because I
just got too much. I feel like I don't want.
It's not even about that. It's about controlling.
No, for me,
on 1,000
control on 1,000-pound animal.
Yeah, that's an animal. I ain't worried about my body at all. This just this big old animal on there. I can't. Oh Jesus, this big body, that big animal. I don't know about all of that, y'all. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about, babe. You had mentioned the guilt that people have, and that's also about the protesting as well. So family really wants for you to go out there, but then when you had a pandemic that you was dealing with at the same time, it was like, yo, please be safe. I know my cousins, man, they were like, hey, Cortez, sort of like you said, I know how you can get, I know how you are, but can you please be safe while you out there and make sure you have your mask on and make sure you are doing everything. Don't get too passionate where you can't think. So that is real. And as a person that has to deal with that emotion, it's like, yo, I mean, I want to be out here, you know what I'm saying? And I want to, in my eyes, I'm fighting for justice. You know what I'm saying? So when I want to be out here fighting for justice and I want to be out here, doing what I got to do, but at the same time, as we said earlier, when you got a family, you got to think about that. And you wouldn't be in your right mind if you don't think about your family at all times.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's pretty much all
right. Let's ride. That's right, Andrew. Yeah. I know that's at Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? Let's ride. But I still don't think black people own the horses.
No, but for real,
I mean, unless you're a cowboy.
You did that literally more than half of your life ago, like before you even met me. So that's saying something because this been a long time right here.
But I can tell you now, I ain't gonna do it again.
Why?
Well, why would I want to do that? Like, it's not something it's not exciting. It's not like, oh, I really need to go horseback riding. Like, it's not something that's on my mind like that. I mean, if it's like if we're on a couple trip and then it actually, happens.
Woo, child, that's the pressure right there. Them couple trips. I'm telling you,
no pressure for me because I'm a gangster.
Man,
and I will tell you, in a heartbeat, and everybody will have a good time, and I'll find me something else to do. Sitting there.
Okay, that's a new one.
Yeah, what's that? Come on, tell me.
Issue that's coming up again. Andrew says we need to deal with what we're gonna do with these kids for 6 more weeks.
Well,
I'm dropping mine off over there. at the comments.
I know. I mean, and it's crazy because what you said earlier that the world is trying to open back up. So, with the world trying to open back up, that means a parenting situation and in partnerships, you got one parent, like in our household, one parent is going back to work, and then the other parent is staying home
And
with the kids at work, trying to do the school thing now, and possibly going back to school herself, or is going back to school as well. So you got parents that are just in the same situation.
yeah,
So let me ask you this in particular, because this
for me,
has to do with you. Yes.
okay.
How do you see beforehand? How do you think you're gonna manage that situation?
Well, I've gotten a little taste of it this week because you've gone back to work somewhat,
Mhm.
and I and it's on. This is only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I have found that trying to get a schedule together is the best thing. Like, we just gonna go ahead and get back into the routine
Yep.
earlier
Mm-hmm.
rather than trying to wait till the week of school
Mm-hmm.
and them not knowing what to do. So um even Harmony, y'all, let me tell you, Harmony's not used to schoolwork or nothing like that, but we got these pages from Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew the exact name of her company, but um, she got good pages, some stuff for her to trace her name and
Mm-hmm.
shapes and all that kind of stuff. So we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to go ahead and get her used to schoolwork right now,
Mm-hmm.
also. But CJ is still doing. He's doing. That's not funny. Don't even look at it. He's doing summer reading with JCPS. So luckily he has a literacy coach. So he's getting into the mode of it. He meets with her. He's only really supposed to meet with her 3 days, but if she has openings, I'm like, you got any extra time that you want? She said, yeah, I can still meet with him whenever. Cause I feel like maybe parents aren't taking advantage of that right now. So, and maybe they didn't know, but I was lucky to be able to, get him in this program, and it's been 3 weeks, and he's got one more week of it next week.
Yeah.
So after that, he's already in the mode of knowing that he has to interact with someone. So we're going to continue to do stuff like pick up his study island and all of that kind of math prodigy stuff that he was doing in NTI beforehand. So we just got to get on a routine, a
Uh,
literal routine. So breakfast is this time.
Yeah, so you saying schedule and routine so they
Yeah,
can get used to
yeah.
it. So like your schedule would like consist of like what? I mean, you said breakfast and then
Breakfast.
what?
I mean, CJ has been waking up pretty late since he got back from vacation with the Campbells,
With the Campbells, yep.
because they were staying up pretty late. But I
Mm-hmm.
think he's coming on back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were up at like 9:30 ish
Okay.
this morning.
Okay.
So, or
It's
10.
getting a little better.
Actually, you left at 9:30, so maybe 10. Um, so maybe about that time. So we tried to um start breakfast about 10ish, and then he gets on with his literacy coach at 11.
Yeah.
So we got somewhat, but we don't have anything
Well,
in
let me
stone for sure.
let me say this. I just think it's important that you said what you said, and that is a schedule, and routine, and that is something that you know with kids you have to remember to get them back on routine, and that's why you always hear like in school they always talk about making sure you get enough rest and things like that because they
Mm-hmm.
want you to get in the routine of going to sleep, waking up, going to school, going to sleep, waking up, going to school, doing this, doing that, and you got to get in the routine of that. So it's important to have that at home, and it's important when the parent is becoming the teacher. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to make sure that the rules are the same. This is not them being on their tablet. This is
Right.
not them just being on a device or on a cell phone where they can just chill out and roam or do whatever that they usually
Yeah, or
do.
just watching TV all
Just
day.
watching
My
TV all day.
gosh.
So they actually have to be in tune to what is going on. So you have to, as a parent, just give it a try. You know what I mean? Give it a try and just try to be with them, work with them on things. And when I say like, if you got a younger like preschool kid like we got with Harmony, like you guys don't have to be so like just get a piece of paper, trace their name out, have them start working on little small stuff like that. Keep them as busy as possible. I think that would be great. And I think that would be absolutely wonderful for parents to just try to do it. If you try to do it, you got to do it for 6 weeks at least. And let's say you do it for 6 weeks, you get good at it. Next thing you know, they say they're doing it for the entire semester. Then you will be a pro by then. Okay. So just make sure you continue to do that. We know that the routine is not something that you can always do all the time, especially when you're working. You know what I mean? When you're a working parent, I always tell people, okay, you at work from home, right? But as
Yeah.
I said before, you're going to be going to school as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting off from work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then all the other extracurricular activities that everybody knows that I do as well. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you be able to balance
And
everything.
Zumba.
Yes,
And
right. Zumba
yeah.
and all of these other things, because those things are going to continue to go as well. So we got to be very, very cautious about that. I mean, I think that's a nice word for this.
Yeah.
This
I
P
found the
episode.
name. It's Dye Erasables. So it's capital DY hyphen erasables. If anybody wants to get something for your little kid, she has older kids, like older stuff too. So
All right, so we got another comment. You want to read this comment from? It's from Candace Connor.
sure. She says it's hard to start a routine for the kids though when you don't get off work till 5, then have to start school work when we get home. I'm super stressed about it, honestly.
Hey, what about cooking? I mean, ain't nobody gonna be cooking? Is that Andrew's job? Andrew just gonna be cooking?
Hold up.
Because I seen that, and I said they got to eat too, though. Cause they okay,
I was gonna
when you
address
get off
that.
work at 5 and then you start school at work,
Wait,
and then cook with Andrew. You know what I'm saying?
wait a minute.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, honestly, Candace, because Miss Sheila is super good about helping the school age kids at the daycare. If they're going to daycare, um, she will help administer some schoolwork. So if you even have printouts, or if you could print some while you're at work or whatever, she will sit them down and let them do that work.
Y'all better put some pressure on these early childhood education
But
centers.
she does.
Daycare
That's what I'm
centers,
saying. She
whatever
does.
they call them. So don't get me started on child care center.
No,
You better
we're
put
not
some-
doing that. We're
Okay,
not
I'm
doing
about to say
that.
put some pressure
No,
on
we're not
them.
doing that.
Y'all gonna have my kids. Y'all better have my kids learning
We're not
something
doing
while
that.
I'm in there.
We're not doing
Ain't
that.
got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So let's read another comment.
Up.
My bad, y'all.
Up.
Oh man, you are. Come on, Andrew.
No, we already know
Andrew,
that.
you don't have to say that.
Okay.
You don't have to say that.
So, Alan says a lot of parents discovered that the teachers were not lying about their behavior. I didn't discover that because CJ is not that way here. I don't know.
What you mean they're not lying? You talking about
because some kids are acting out.
If they are acting, good
Yeah.
job, babe.
Yeah,
if they
they're
are acting out, because we don't call children bad.
Yeah, he didn't say that either.
Right. So if the children are acting out,
yeah,
I would say this: it's boredom. Kids are bored at school.
Here.
No,
And
they're bored at school because
okay.
here, our child is able to go do what they want to. You know what I'm saying? So if boredom strikes,
I guess
he's going to
structure.
right. He's going to go do whatever he wants, and then he's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like when you're forced to be, doing a certain kind of thing all the time,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Then you kind of get bored and you start acting out. But in particular case, it is true because dealing with their children all day, dealing with I think is more pressure on the parents than it is the kids acting up. I think the parents are just tired and they getting on their nerves, and sometimes it's just they working that last nerve that you got, and then you just like, you know what, I see what Miss So and So was saying, Mr. So and So was saying, because they working that last nerve of mine as well.
That's where I lose. Like, honestly, Cortez is so much more patient than I'll ever be in my entire life. So I'm working hard, y'all, on that patience piece with our kids because they're just kids. But I find myself losing it trying to explain to him. Like, I sit here and listen to him with the literacy coach, and I know he's not gonna get everything exactly right, but I'm just like huffing because I'm like, you know this stuff. Why are you showing this lady that you don't know this? And then I get frustrated. So I literally will go to a different room so that he can do his work properly without the pressure of me, like, just down his throat. So,
but you know what you said that was pretty cool. It's about partnership as well.
Yeah.
So you gotta talk, man. If you like, if I'm not good at something, I have to let wifey take care of it. You know what I mean? She just got to take care of it because I'm not that good at it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And same with her. If she's not that good at one area, sometimes it's just like, hey, tag team. Look, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tag you in for a second because I'm about to throw this boy all across this room. You get what I'm saying? So just make sure that you can, come in for us a little bit and just make sure that you do that. I just saw a really great comment because we're talking about preparation.
Who, Gamey?
And yes, man,
Okay, I'm about to
this is this
elaborate
is
on
this is
hers.
great because this says meal prep, cook a couple of meals that will last for 3 or 4 days. I
Guess
think
what?
that's so
Guess what I'm
smart
gonna do?
though.
Guess
No,
what I'm gonna do?
seriously, don't you ain't going over her
I
house
am.
to do
I
that.
am. No,
Godly,
listen, because I already
she's
said
trying to give advice to
this is great.
people.
This is great advice.
Jeez.
I already have. You said solicit help and partnership. My partnership is
I was
with.
talking about with us.
Hold on, I know you were, but I'm gonna pull that gem and use it over here. So my partnership is with Auntie. I'm gonna be working from out that house 2 days a week so that I can get some help
I hope this ain't
with
news to
CJ.
Janie. I really hope this ain't news to
It might
Janie.
be news to her.
Oh my jeez.
I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
So
You done told the world, and now you're gonna ask.
I'm gonna ask her. I hope she
Oh
hears
my
it.
gosh.
So,
Oh my gosh.
what's for lunch?
Yeah, whatever.
When I get
But
over
yes,
there.
please meal prep. Okay, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a fabulous idea.
It
Actually,
is.
because I
It
mean,
really is.
you know how busy we both get. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that, then you know what I'm saying. That's
That's our freaking problem right there.
How's it a problem having spaghetti for 3 days? It's not a problem. But y'all tripping. Y'all want to talk about, look, I will go to a whole nother episode about
she knew.
saving
Auntie
money.
knew.
You know what I'm saying? About saving money and everything.
That
If
can
you
be a
got
different
spaghetti,
one.
if you got spaghetti for one day and it's good for the second day, and if you got to go to the third day, maybe daddy don't want to eat the spaghetti. That's fine. He can go eat somewhere else. And I bet you them kids and that mama gonna eat it if they want it. I'm saying
that's what we do.
if
Yeah.
they want it, or
3
vice
day
versa.
spaghetti.
If mama don't want it, then daddy and the kids gonna eat it.
3 day
Shoot, I
spaghetti.
mean, I'm just saying, if
That
it's
be
that
it.
good, if it's that good,
I don't. You know
shoot,
something. My problem
tripping.
is
Yeah, eat that
portions
spaghetti,
because
cuz.
you know something. I'm my mom's only child, so my mom when she would cook at home, we all used to live in a house like it was my great granny and grandmother and auntie and her kids. It was a lot of us, but my mama was cooking for all of us.
Mm.
So when we moved out, she would still cook like it was all of us. So we had so much food. I'm not a person that ain't about leftovers because I eat leftovers all the time. I mean, and I know Andrew because you're a chef, you hate leftovers.
Let me tell you something else.
So-
This is why this girl's my sister, PB and J. Okay? You
Because
gotta
she
make
don't,
sure.
she don't be cooking
Listen, you
either.
gotta make sure that they good as long as they ate.
JC
They ate some
be
food.
cooking.
Don't you ask them if they ate? They gonna tell you they ate something.
Child.
Hallelujah.
Not my
They gonna
child.
eat something.
She already know what her god baby eat.
And you can tell
Watch
when
her
you got.
type
You
it.
can tell
Don't
when
say.
you.
Don't even
You
say
can
the word.
tell.
She's gonna type.
You can tell when you got a chef paying attention to you.
Yeah.
You know they get bougie. I don't want leftovers.
I hate leftovers.
Okay, whatever. You're so bougie.
I don't have the option.
Yes.
How about
whatever. But still, man, if you cooking and we eating your leftovers, fam,
Yeah.
that means you just too good of a cook. How about that? Take it
Yeah.
as a compliment.
Yeah.
How about that? We can do it like that. So, I mean, I know for a fact that, during these times, that's our point, guys. Just during these times, please make sure you stay connected with each other. I do want to speak to this before we get out of here. I want to listen. I want to say this, Jess. And yes, cereal and pizza is Harmony's
That's
favorite.
Harmony.
Okay, cereal and pizza. So I mean, if you guys have Harmony over your house for a sleepover or something, as long as you got cereal and pizza,
Mhm.
I'm telling you,
But
got that
CJ
girl's heart.
is
Now CJ is a whole
taco.
nother, he's a whole nother animal or whatever. You gotta have some food for
Yeah,
CJ. Yeah, but no, check this out though.
Okay.
So what I wanted to say is this is what's really key because here comes the relationship part of this whole pandemic and protest and partnerships. You guys got to make sure that you stay together. Okay, please stay together as much as possible. Like when you're quarantining yourself or when you're purposely staying in the house, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people still wouldn't, they're not really trying to travel as much.
Yeah.
So when you are doing those things, you have to make sure that you are being aware of everybody's emotions and you are being aware of everybody's feelings. And well, not just feelings, but just how they are. Like people are stuck and people are worried. Some people are afraid.
Yeah, your mental.
Yeah, and your mental health is very important because you don't want to, break up or separate or divide during the time you're supposed to really be together with somebody. And I think that's very important because we don't speak on it because we automatically think that couples are going to get closer and couples are going to be so in tune with each other, when
Yeah.
that's really the complete opposite. Because if you live two different type of worlds, you finally have to come together but you slow down. And when you slow down, then you gotta pay attention to things that you never really paid close attention to because you've
Mhm.
always been on the go. So
Yeah.
just please do that, y'all. We don't want anybody breaking up. I'd rather see more quarantine babies than quarantine divorces. You get what I'm saying? Or quarantine separate. You want separations and divorces? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just don't want no baby.
No, I ain't got nobody got nothing to do with you, girl. Why you keep putting yourself in this? Nobody talking about you in this, baby girl. Don't go there.
I'm-
We gonna stay where we supposed to be staying, cuz
we at ratio.
gosh, you worried about yourself. I'm just saying I'd rather see the babies because that means people are making love out there. That's what I'm saying. I just make love and be together. You talking about your own self having a baby.
Oh
Ain't nobody
well.
talking about
I
you
mean,
having no baby girl.
hey.
Jeez. Gosh. Anyways, it's very important though. So to follow up on everything, we talked about protesting, and we talked about the pandemic, of course, and everything that we're doing was just tying into that. So, is there anything else you got on your mind, babe?
I feel like we've wrapped it up well. Yeah. So the three P's today, and we threw a little parenting in there as well. So
Yeah, that parenting came out of nowhere. We didn't plan for the parenting.
We didn't plan.
Yes,
for that
all them P's,
parenting.
guys. We just
Mm.
That's what it sounds. That's what this episode is going to be called.
Cortez. Okay.
I mean, that's what it is, baby. It's all the P's. Yes.
Right.
So, yes, your mental health. Read a book.
Oh, I'm reading.
What I say? Read
right
a book.
now.
Good, there you go again. Read a book. What else? What can you suggest for people? You telling everybody what you do. What can you suggest for somebody else?
You know what? I'm gonna say stay off of social media as much. Like, just take a break when you.
Besides
really...
Wednesdays at 10.
But I'm just saying.
Besides Wednesdays at 10, I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
really hard to like tap into stuff. For me, I'm gonna tell y'all what really broke me down one time was reading the comment sections in the news feeds, like WDRB, WLKY
Terrible.
and stuff. Y'all don't do it. You just gonna be ready
Especially
to
about
fight.
the pandemic or
You just
protests.
gonna be
Terrible.
mad. I'm just saying. So it is
Terrible.
really not a space to be reading. Find some joy.
Yeah.
Find some joy.
That's
so
why I said quarantine babies. It's joy in making love.
I don't know.
You ain't gotta have it. I'm talking about everybody
I'm
else.
not talking about me. I'm okay. Anyway, do something else. Do a puzzle.
Ain't nobody about to do no.
Yeah, do a
puzzle.
1,000-piece puzzle and see where that gets you.
Ain't nobody about to do no puzzle.
Nisha, you know what though? But it's
You're
9.
old.
It's
You're
9
old.
o'clock for you where you are. So
yes, no one's talking about what you're talking about. Anyways, let's just keep this.
We have to do this late because our children, y'all already know.
Y'all know CJ
They will be
named
right
Ratchet.
here.
You know CJ named
So
Ratchet.
that's
y'all
why.
know CJ in Harmony is super ratchet. But I'm saying this though. It's not just about the quarantine babies. I'm just saying, if you got a hobby, get better at it. I've said this. I've said this at the beginning of the pandemic. If you come out of this quarantine, if you come out of this pandemic and you ain't doing nothing better than what you did before, you wasted your time. And that's on you.
Or just get your mental right.
No, you wasted your time.
No,
That's
you
my
can't
opinion.
tell people to.
That's my opinion.
Okay,
you wasted
that's your
time.
opinion.
Yeah, my opinion is you wasted your time. There's no way that you haven't worked on something during 4 to 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 months. That means you don't work on that any other year. If you can't do it now,
I guess. But for me, like, pandemic just made me relocate where I was working, so nothing has stopped for me at all.
He said puzzles and chill.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, for me, I was still doing Zumba. I'm literally doing Zumba for 5 days a week, actually. So, which is more than I was doing before. So
look at you.
I'm just saying. So
you doing your thing.
I kind of want to go back.
But but you reading a book. You remember you said you reading a book.
Yeah, I'm reading a
things
book.
like that. You know what I mean?
So I'm trying to get the leisure reading in before the school reading starts because.
And you're still socially calling your friends. And you still that's my thing with people too. I gotta say that you guys can still talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, like if you don't feel comfortable with meeting up with them, you can call them and you
Yeah.
can text them, and
FaceTime and
if you have
video.
FaceTime, you can
You can
FaceTime.
video
You can
call. You can Google
Oh
Duo.
my
There's
goodness, you
so
can
much stuff to
Zoom. You
do.
can do so much
Zoom.
stuff. You can do StreamYard. You can do whatever you want. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many ways for you to stay in contact with your people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just make sure that you do that. Okay, because that's
Yeah.
just what we need to do. Okay.
All right. Well, Dad, you can wrap this
That's
up.
it. We about to wrap this thing up, y'all. We appreciate you all for tuning in with us. Please make sure you get ready because we're going to be back to back for a few episodes because we want to give you as much content as we possibly can. We thank y'all so much for tuning in. Remember, please comment. Please continue to say a lot of things and tell people about what we got going on, because when you do that, it helps us. Okay, it helps us tremendously, and we appreciate that so much.
Oh, and one more shout out to Natalia with those gummies, them drunken gummies.
Hey, turn up. Yeah, that was perfect. I only ate a few of them.
Perfect.
Yeah, I ate a few of them because I mean, I like dark liquor. You know what I'm saying? But
Man, she can
that
do
was
it.
good though.
But
That
yeah,
was
they
good
was
though. That
good.
was
They were
fire,
good.
cuz that was fire. So thank y'all so much. This is the end of our podcast, and we will see y'all next week. And this is We
Ain't
Ain't Goes.
goes.
Thank y'all so much. We'll
Bye.
see you later.
Later.